Coach, how are you?
What's going on, Scotty?
I'm doing well. I'm missing my guy a little bit. I'm not going to lie. He's a big presence, and it's a tough role to fill.
That's true, but you probably have more food now.
I don't know, man. He was getting way into the health kick near the end of it. So he tried to drop some
That's
lbs,
true.
and I don't know. But apparently he still will steal food off of Greg Wrubell's plate every now and then. Hey, when do you get a chance to really look back on a season? Because now, your season ends, the bowl game ends, and it's right into portal season, and you have very little time to decompress. Is there a moment where you can look back and really appreciate the great season you had?
Yeah, I think the moment to do all that was basically going into the bowl game, the prep, seeing all the seniors that spent so much time and energy and a lot of their effort to help the program come along, and then that's when I've been able to reflect on it, and then that's why I think in the bowl game just go have as much fun as we can because we owe it to those guys, to show our appreciation and to have a great time playing the game. And then fortunately for us, we were able to come out with a victory from that game in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and just really just honored that I get to be around such wonderful young men, and especially the senior class. They've done an amazing job with our program.
I remember Kelly Papinga playing a year up at Utah State and then going to BYU and seeing his career develop. Did you feel pretty quickly when Jay Hill was talking to the University of Michigan that Kelly was going to be the guy?
I did, and I knew about K-pop back when he was a player, but then just watching him, we were able to stay in touch during his coaching career, and I've just really, really, more than anything, just seeing him and his reputation that he had as a development type coach and also a recruiter, and then being able to have him here with me and seeing his leadership and just seeing his style, I really like it. I think we are aligned in so many ways when it comes to leadership and when it comes to a philosophy of football, especially here at BYU. And so it was an easy transition, easy decision for me to make. Obviously, I had to do my due diligence and then listen to and talk to others that were interested. But when it's all said and done, he was the first one that came to mind, and he was the one that made the most sense. And I'm actually really, really happy that he's been able to take the reins as the defensive coordinator and to work in a collaboration with the group that we have in that room. I think he's going to be able to do a great job of building what Jay Hill has been able to do here with what Gennaro has done here in the defensive backfield. I think he's done an amazing job hiring and organizing a staff that's going to take us to even new heights and defensively do some really good things. And so K-Pop's the right guy. He has all my support, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I've been really pleased with what he's already been able to do since getting the job.
Well, you guys have been so great defensively over the last several years, and I know that you want to obviously maintain that success and take it to another level. How much do you encourage him to put his own fingerprints on this as well? Because obviously there's a system in place that's been successful, but you also want him to expand his horizons a little bit and put his touch on it.
Of course, I think he's got to be his own person. We don't want him to be another version of someone else. And so as long as he can be real with himself and do what he likes, I do know that he doesn't he doesn't want to do it all by himself. So he understands the room that he's in. There's a reason why we have great people in that room that he can work with. And then he also knows how to complement things. I mean, it's what he did as a coach throughout his whole career and what he's done even as a coordinator with special teams. And I think he's going to be able to do it really, really well as a defensive coordinator. His leadership style is unique. And I think all he has to do is be his best self every day, and we're going to be able to benefit from that. I mean, I love the person that he is. I love the husband that he is, the father that he is to his girls, and that's all going to play into what he can do for this program and what he can do in this new role as defensive coordinator. He's going to do a great job there, and I have a lot of confidence in him.
Well, you mentioned the support around him. Gary Anderson's not going anywhere. Chad Kahaha's kind of upgraded his role with the team as well. Those are some incredible defensive minds that you've got there to support him as well. That's a great safety blanket for him to have, and a great, and yourself included, somebody to bounce ideas off and really help in his development.
There's a lot of great ideas there, and there's like I said, there's great things that Jay did for us, and so
yeah,
it'd be foolish for us to just think that we're going to just kind of start brand new and do our own thing and that's not what Kelly wants. K-pop wants to build on it, but we've also got new players in the mix. We've got some guys that we brought in from high school, and some guys that we brought in from off the mission. We also have a lot of returning players that can really help on our defense, and then we complement them with the ones that we got from the transfer portal. So there's going to be great competition. We just need to figure out what's the best scheme that we can do. And you look at the imprint on our defense, it's got all kinds of influences, whether it's from Kyle Whittingham, Gary Anderson, Bronco Mendenhall, Rocky Long, Dave Aranda, who they've worked with at Wisconsin and Utah State. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going into this program. That it's just not just one coaching tree. It's a combination of it all, and these guys are experts at making it, applying it to the talent that we have and the skill that we have on the team currently on the roster.
Gennaro leaves some tough shoes to fill. Tell us a little bit about Lewis Walker and what you expect out of him, and what you impressed you and Kelly when you had a chance to chat with him.
Well, I know Lewis on a personal level. I mean, he played for me when I was a coordinator at Utah. He's a young man that his family moved from California to Salt Lake City when he was in high school. He went to Judge Memorial High, and maybe was overlooked a little bit in recruiting. And he earned a scholarship to go to University of Hawaii, and went out there and got to eat some poke and hang out with the Islanders and play some football. And then after a couple of years of playing there, he made the decision to transfer back home and play at Utah. And so I've been able to see him in just bet on himself and then even know that there's a recruiting mistake, that we made a mistake, and that he still had the humility to come back and to want to be part of our program. And I loved coaching him, and then seeing him progress from a player to a coach, and seeing the things that he's been able to do at a high level. I mean, we just got him from North Dakota State. He was returning to North Dakota State after having a stint there earlier in his career. He's been a coordinator at the FCS level too. So he's done some amazing things in the last decade that he's been able to coach. And I'm excited, man. He knows our system. He knows what we expect from our cornerbacks. He's going to do an amazing job there. And then you complement that combine it with what we have from Demario Warren, Demo, with our passing game coordinator and our safeties coach. It's going to be a great dynamic to work with. Demo was a head coach. He comes from Boise State, where he coached the corners there, and he's coached a lot of different positions. He's been a coordinator. He was at Southern Utah for over a decade. I mean, 6 of those as the head coach, and he was a coordinator at Southern Utah when Gennaro was his corners coach. And so, he's been there. He's helped mentor Gennaro. So we have a good dynamic in the backfield, a great front to work with. As you mentioned before, Gary Anderson's involved, Chad Kaha'a, who's coached a lot of sacks in college football, and a lot of sacks that are being made in the NFL right now. And then you have Sione Poha, who actually made some plays and played in the NFL and started. And that combination on the staff overall is going to be really, really good.
You talk about the culture of your coaching staff and finding guys that fit that culture. Your locker room has developed such an impressive culture over the last several years as well. When you're out there trying to recruit, and you have such a small window in that transfer portal to figure out who you want to bring in, obviously talent's the most important thing, but do you feel like you have enough time to evaluate the player as a person to see if they'll be a good fit inside that locker room when it's kind of a mad dash to get the best player available?
Of course, I think there's enough that you can do as a coach and to find out who this person really is. Everybody wants to put their wants to impress with what they do when you meet them in person, but it's actually we go in a deep dive on who they are, and I'm always interested in listen, these guys are young men, so they're not all that perfect, but you got to see their work ethic. You get to see the type of sons that they are, the brothers that they are, the teammates that they are, what they do in school, how they interact with their classmates, and even how they interact with the opposition. So when all those things are considered, you also have to see the potential that they can do, not just on the field, but also in life. And so I just want to coach a bunch of good kids, and I want to be able to coach with a bunch of good people that are with me, and that's the goal is to have them be good natured, and then at the same time try to find ways that we all stay and hold each other accountable, but we all stay humble and then be the best versions of ourselves. And that's the goal. And we're all human, so there's a chance that we can all become entitled, including myself. And it's good to have good friends that are there that you just don't. The relationship that we have with our players it's a great one, but I don't want it to be like, hey, I say you do. It's like I'm willing to do it. If I could, I would love to backpedal, but I can't. But maybe you could do it for me, and we work together and collaborate together, and it can be a beautiful thing.
Well, I think your best recruiting job was your locker room that you kept for the most part in place. What does that say about your culture? Obviously, there's a financial aspect to it, and I don't necessarily want to get into that, but to have a culture where I'm sure these guys are getting DMs and phone calls from all across the country saying, hey, join us, hop in that portal, we got a spot for you. But to have these key players say, no, I want to come back to Provo. I want to continue to build what we built there. What does that say about that culture inside that locker room?
Well, I think it goes right back. There's a lot of variables that go into it, a lot of factors that go into the culture. It's not just one thing. But when you look at it, I will start by saying the players in the locker room, the leadership that we have on our team, that's the key. Those guys, they want to run it back, as they've been saying. They want to do it again. They know that they're a part of something just way bigger than themselves, and then they have a platform that they want to just be able to help others. I mean, I'm just so lucky that I get to coach great young men that are great leaders and that are great in this brotherhood that we call BYU football, and then they can see that there's just way more to it than just football. There's a lot of different things that they can do in life, and they can enhance and exalt others around them. And so it's great for me to coach these guys and be around them, but that's probably the number one factor. Then you put in the fans, the interaction, you put in the staff and the coaches, the relationships that we have with alumni and everybody involved, and it's really tough to say no to. And I know, I mean, I was in the same position as a lot of them. So it's and once you just see it for yourself, it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm going to tell you that. I wish I knew all the answers to it, but I would guess that those are the factors that matter the most. And compensation comes in a lot of different ways. A lot of people want to talk about money and things like that. Well, what's the price for having people you can really count on to be friends for the rest of your life? People that actually want you to do well. What I love about our team is that when somebody scores or makes a big play, look at his teammates and how they react to it. Even the ones that are on the sideline, they're even happier than the person that's actually doing it. And I don't know if that even comes down to anything specific other than I get to coach great young men that are raised by awesome families, and that's I'm the one that gets benefit from it.
Coach, appreciate it. Enjoy this recruiting class and spring ball. Look forward to catching up with you very soon.
Scotty, you keep having fun, man. And I like that Scotty and Friends thing. That's pretty cool. And then as long as you keep bringing in the oldies, because we're old now, young MC, keep doing that, then you'll always have a great fan base to follow you. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Hey, I always know you're back at you, Coach. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. There he is, Kalani Sitake, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hard-pressed to find a better human being on the planet than that guy.